There can only be one winner, and you're looking at it. Let's go.
Everything is good. Grand finale, Eldlich at the bottom. What? We're starting off with a huge bee with exceptional strength that's particularly dangerous in a swarm. Very good. If an insect is summoned, you could special summon your Beetrooper, Scale Bomber. Scale Bomber on the field is similar to a Ghost Ogre. You could pop a monster if it activates. Link Spider. Guess where this is going? This is going into Anaconda. Anaconda DPE. So all the buzz you've been hearing about searching for Max C, we're not doing that turn one. We're making DPE instead. Now, it looks like Beetrooper deck, normally playing just one killer bee. It is their Garnet. They want it in the deck, but they do have effects to return the killer needle in the graveyard back in the deck, actually, because you use it with the power of the Goki Pole. Come forth and summon DPE. DPE, pop in the Anaconda. Just doesn't want Anaconda on the field, that's fine. Now, this is a very good play against Eldlich, and I want you to learn this. It's very subtle, but not so, actually. It plays around Haquero. The problem is, he didn't actually play around it fully because you need another card in the field. You don't want your DPE in the graveyard. So if you were to have another card in the field and the Eldlich player sets up all their back row, you keep DPE on the field by popping your own back row or your other monster. Keep DPE on the field. Which he still gets to do that, so he probably should not activate the DPE right now. Otherwise, he can get Ice Dragon Prison, he can get Haquero'd. It still might be worth it. And there you go, he's gone. Now, some people say Fusion Destiny will kill DPE anyway. That is incorrect, you are wrong. It does not destroy DPE if DPE destroys itself in the first turn, which is to play around that effect, to keep it on the field, to play around the Dragon Ice Prison and play around Haquero. But it looks like he doesn't have it anyway. No Eldlich in Haquero, he's good. He hit a Gozen match. No Eldlich Haquero. No Ice Dragon Prison either. Was not able to steal the DPE. Now, if he just keeps DPE on the field and continually pops the back row, that's going to be his path to victory. He does not want to commit to the fields. We're going in. Now, what kind of back row cards could we be expecting from Eldlich? Well, according to the Eldlich breakdown using tournaments only, could be anything. One of 20 different floodgates. Psalm Strike would negate the activation of DPE in the graveyard if he doesn't randomly hit the Psalm Strike. Maybe he didn't want that to happen, because so far he's not been able to Psalm Strike. We're going to Water Enchantress, banish, grab the Rite of Air's Mirror, summon a token, grab Fateful Adventure, Draco back, spin another back row card back to the hand, also summon an Omni Negate. He's going to force out something. He has to flip up some sort of back row in response to this. Now, you don't want to waste your Psalm Strike on the activation of DPE popping on the field because you want to stop it from coming back next turn. Ideally, in most circumstances. He's going to summon a token onto the field that will trigger the Fateful Adventure. Get spinning. It is Gozen Match. Now, even though Gozen Match is going to leave the field, it's still going to force him to lose both of his tokens. Unless he chains DPE. But if he chains DPE, then he could get Psalm Striked in the graveyard, losing out on DPE. So as long as he keeps DPE on the field, then he's safe. Potentially. From Haquero, Solemn Strike, Dragon Ice Prison, keeping the Gozen Match on the field, taking out the Haquero, not taking out the Gozen Match because he could just replay it. He'll replay it next turn. He'll maybe just deal with it again. And the Gozen Match was not going to do anything on resolution here by taking out the DPE anyway. If he were to keep DPE on the field, then he would have to hit the Gozen Match. So that would be the difference there. We're going to Rivalry of Warlords. We're locked into... He's going to have locked in a Fairy or Insect. Which one you... probably going to be Fairy. And then the Griffin Rider's going to be no good. And now your DPE is gone. So, like I said, you maybe should have kept your DPE on the field. Because now you got you baited. Rivalry, no DPE summon for you. What looked like a duel that was in Hexy's favor, now it looks like Eldlich is going to win. Just getting rid of the DPE was the way. Ash Blossom, negate the Eldlich, no Eldlich summon from the deck. If he could clear out his hand, he could Celestial to draw two. That is a potential big play here. He is targeting the Rivalry to spin it back. He might wait for him to summon before flipping up the Gozen, locking him into Earth-type monsters only. Earth and Earth. Flips up the Gozen. Now, Goki Pole can't be sent to the graveyard for a Link summon unless it's for an Earth. Has to be an Earth. And if we look at the extra deck, Wind, Dark, what is this one? This is a Earth. Okay, he could make the armor if he wants to. Well, it's 2 insect monsters, so he actually couldn't. He would probably want to Almirage. Almirage is not summonable due to being a fire. Dogmatica Punish. Destroy a monster on the field. And by being able to send the Entis, we'll activate the Entis to pop another card in the field, taking out the Fateful Adventure, which would be giving him the Water Enchantress to use another Rite of Air's Mirror. Now, what was not ideal here is he didn't activate the Faithful main phase 1. Why did he not activate to grab a Water Enchantress, discard it, banish to grab the Rite of Air's Mirror? So he did miss out on a big play. He wanted to save it for main phase 2. Now, you have to be careful about the Goki Pole. You take out the Goki Pole, the pole takes you out. The pole will add the Killer Needle that's not in the deck because it's in the graveyard. So we're just going to grab anything. Just grab an insect. We're not going to be summoning it. Goki Pole. Grab a level 4 insect monster, not level 4 or lower. Grabbing the Resonance Insect for a next turn play. How do we get the Resonance Insect into the graveyard? Resonance Insect, 1000 attack, normal summon, use with Almirage, but goes in match, locking you into Earth-type monsters. You can't trigger the effect, can't search for the Doom Dozer. 2k attack. If we summon Eldlich, then we can completely wall off the Griffin Rider. Dogmatica Punish again. If we send the entity Entis, it will activate, pop in the set monster. Probably is the Resonance. If it's the Resonance, it will activate in the graveyard to get search in. Resonance Insect, activate. Come to me, level 5 or higher, Insect. That's the Doom Dozer. We could summon this main phase 2. Adventure Engine helps you also deal with Floodgates. We're past that now though. Resonance Insect, by being banished, you'll be able to send an insect from your deck to the graveyard. Sending the Goki Pole, activating. Come to me. Retaliating C. You see how searching Max C is not so good against an Eldlich deck? You defeated everything where the Max C beats them, but now you're playing against a deck where your Max Cs are dead. And an event like this, replicating the Duelist Cup with no side deck, this is the reality going into the Duelist Cup, where you're going to be main decking 3 Max C, ways to search it, and then you're going to play against Fluanderies or Eldlich, and it's going to be no good. Retaliating C is here. Retaliating C on the field is going to have no effect unless it was special summoned through its effect. We're going to get beaten down. It's surprising that Kleinstreif has not summoned Eldlich once. Turn 11, no Eldlich. Where is it? Taking 1400 damage? Is this actually winnable for Hexy? This is minus 800. He's actually dropping himself to 300 life. Now he potentially has 3 absolutely dead skill drains and possibly 3 dead Solemn Strikes. That's 6 dead cards potentially. He discarded the dead skill drain just now. Sending Doom Dozer to the graveyard. We're going to have the Eldlich send a card in the field to the graveyard to come forth and summon as 3500 attack, indestructible. Sending his second dead skill drain to the graveyard. Double dead skill drain. 3500, come forth. Now, could Beetrooper burn? Can they burn in any way? Come on. Where's the burn damage? I'm looking at the B deck. One of these cards got to deal 300 damage for no reason, right? Where at? You know what I have not seen from Beetrooper? Not summoning the big Beetrooper Link or the Fusion. Minus 200, Keck W. Small B burns? Which one? Which one is it? What's it called? Minus 200 is what we have in our deck if we could pull it off. We have Eldlich being negated by Ash Blossom. Pin. If you control an insect, you can special summon this card for your hand. During the main phase, you can inflict 200 damage to your opponent for each battle wasp bullseye you control. Okay. Eldlich grabbing Haquero. I don't think that Hexy maybe even knew about his game-winning play, but maybe now he knows. The chat coached him for burn damage per game. 200 per pin. Because the great thing about pin is if you control a pin, you could special summon pin, then burn for 400. Eld land to the graveyard, come forth. This is so good. This counters Eldlich. It will target the Eldlich in the graveyard, return it to the bottom of the deck, stopping the Eldlich from summoning. We got some counterplay. The Gozen match is not completely stopping us. I could not believe that he might win this. No way. With Lina, he could summon a light monster from the opponent's graveyard. Do we have any light monsters in the grave? We have none. No light. No light. Dead Lina. Lina dead. He wanted to go for game. He went for game. The Eldlich player became impatient. That searches for pin, does it not? No. Pin is level 1. You can't. Goki Pole to the graveyard, cannot search for the 200 damage dealing pin. He could have another one in the hand. You know, I mean, he's just gonna have to draw them. He's gonna have to draw them. He made Lina to go for game. He's at 3,100 life. He wanted to Lina, kill the face down. Eldlich, 3,500 for game. He did not see this coming. See, that's the benefit of surprise factor, not knowing what your opponent has. He did not know that a hand trap could actually... No way! No way! He tried to go for game with Lina into Eldlich. Unbelievable! Wow! He lost. This is just game one. Just game one. He only lost because he went for game, not knowing about the Sting Lancer. Quick effect, learn this yourself. Main phase quick effect, target an insect in your graveyard, so they must have an insect in their grave, and then target a monster in your opponent's grave, and then it puts them to the bottom of the deck and then summons. This is how he won, not knowing that this would counter Eldlich. Holy moly. Pot of P. Do we Ash Blossom that against Eldlich? I think so. He can't pot of E now. Very good. Ash. If he pot a E, you Ash, then he could pot a P. Is he gonna set 4 pass? Eldlich, Floodgate, negate us, and again, we're gonna be playing off of DPE, but we're going to Solemn Judgment, negate the activation. You can only activate 1 Fusion Destiny, and if you negate the activation, I could activate my second one. There's no way you drew 2, though. The card is semi-limited. Let's be real. Water Enchantress. Very good. We're going to grab the Rite of Ares Mirror. We're eating up that back row. Already dropping Clyde Strife down to 4K. The dude's got Solemn Strike set. That's it. He only has Solemn Strike. Only Solemn Strike. His back row's not activatable. Now it will be. Oh, I did not legally cheat. I'm sorry. Wait, you lose. What do you mean you don't activate? It was activatable, now it's not activatable? Why did you not strike it? Bro, what? Goki Pole activating, now it's gonna be activatable, right? All right, he's playing with the delays so much. He's playing with that toggle. He's toggling like crazy right now. No. No. There you go. He's got something activatable. What? No, what do you mean? Clyde Strife. Bro, what is your back row? There can only be 1 insect, there can only be 1 winged beast, there can only be 1 fairy. Wow. There could only be 1 type of different monsters on the field. He had 3 different monsters, insect, winged beast, and fairy. Let's go. Let's get his deck list. First place. No freaking way. Beetroopers. We will have it on the website. You will be able to highlight the cards, so you don't have to ask, what's that card? What's this card? It will be on the website. 44 card deck, first place, 2-0ing the grand finals. Holy moly.